Hello and welcome to Fox Sports Lab NRL. I'm Eloise Sohier and with me are NRL greats Josh Morris and Chris Lawrence alongside stats guru Tim Williams. Let's get right into the big Thursday night blockbuster. Obviously this is a huge game for Wayne Bennett to come up against his former side. He's already faced a number of them this season. Chris, you don't think they can get the job done over the Rabbitohs?
No, I think Souths are going to get the job done. They were sensational against the Dogs last week. They really turned it on. Their key players were really impressive, especially Latrell Mitchell. And I think if they turn up with that attitude again, they're a type of side that when they build momentum, they get that confidence, they're very hard for any team to stop. The Dolphins have probably exceeded expectations thus far, but I think if South turn up in that same form, they're going to be very hard to stop.
You talk about Latrell Mitchell. We know that Jason Demetriou said last week that he really wants him to get his hands on the ball more, get more involved. And we saw that. Is that a little bit of a warning to the Dolphins, what they can expect?
Yeah, I certainly think it is. I think after the Storm game, him and Cody were criticised about their lack of involvement, and they were at the forefront of everything against the Bulldogs, involved in nearly every try. So when they are playing well and they're getting their hands on the ball more, there's more chance of more points. So ominous signs, and if, as Chris said, if they can continue that, there's no reason why they can't go on with a victory here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Tim, looking at the Dolphins, Jesse Bromich's return, that's a big boost for this side, who are missing a few key players and a little bit short on depth in terms of the squad.
Yeah, absolutely, Eloise. And I think it's been so impressive this season that the Dolphins just to get up for just about every game. Outside of that Dragons loss, they've really been quite good every single round, and their ability to overcome injuries to key players. We know they've lost Sean O'Sullivan, Anthony Milford in the halves already this season. They've got, I think, their third string 5'8" in this weekend in Cody Nikorima. So Isaiah Katoa, still a teenager, he's been fantastic. They lost Jeremy Marshall-King for a few weeks there. At one stage, they lost Felice Kafusi, and they're still getting up for games and not just being competitive, but winning games. So, I mean, while I do think the Bunnies come out on top in this one, should we doubt the Dolphins again?
Felice is back this week as well. We can't understate his value in the team as well. He was their enforcer before he went for a three-week spell. So they're going to need him to come out and repay the faith as well. Yeah. So
I think that's going to keep him in the game. I think the thing they might struggle with is on the edges. Souths are just so dangerous on the edges, and they don't need much of an opportunity to really ice that. We saw, some of the half breaks turn into tries. With Latrell Mitchell and his support play last week, he was really anticipating the play, even at times getting in front, pushing up the middle and getting in front of the line break. So if he's in that mood, Cody Walker's in that mood, and Dane McCook's running, they turn those half opportunities into tries. And I just don't think on the edges the Dolphins are going to be experienced enough to match it with them.
And you know that Latrell's up when he is supporting like that as well, because that has always been a knock as well, that in terms of his fitness levels and being able to keep up his supports. And most of his tries were from supports on the weekend. So if he keeps that up, there's no reason that they can convert those line breaks into tries off the back of his support.
One of my favourite things about the Bunnies this season is, for the first time in as long as I can remember, their right edge has been more dominant than the left edge. For years, it's always been that left edge of Cody playing out the back, sweeping out to Alex Johnson, who finishes just about every time. All the dominance has come down the right edge. We're seeing Campbell Graham having an absolute field day because of how good the right edge is. And a credit to the coaching there, but also Lockie Ilias on the right edge. So he's been terrific, but a big part of it. And the fact that the Bunnies' right edge is becoming arguably as good as the left, that's dangerous.
So you're saying it was Lockie Ilias has made that he's a bit more confident in going right?
Yeah.
Big time. I think Campbell Graham as well. I think he's really stamped his claim as one of the best centres in the comp, not just defensively, but his attack. He got a hat-trick on the weekend. He wouldn't look out of place in a Blues jersey this year, no doubt.
And with Josh Adokar now gone long-term, there's a spot for him, I think.
Yeah, plenty to talk about in that Origin arena. Just on the big ins and outs this week, you talk about the Rabbitohs' right edge. On the left edge, they do welcome back Alex Johnson. That's a huge boost for them, no matter where he's playing, and also to Jai Arrow as well.
Yeah, massive. As Tim said, their right edge, has probably been the better edge, but you bring Alex Johnson back on the left edge, just makes them so dangerous across the park. They know how to execute plays. They know how to turn half opportunity into a try, particularly Alex Johnson, and I think that's why they're going to get the win. And you talk about a guy like Jai Arrow, that experience in the middle is definitely going to help them. They've had some injuries in that middle third, and sometimes when they have lost a game, they've lost that middle, which hasn't allowed the edges to really shine. A guy like that back in the team is really going to help them.
Yeah, absolutely. So would you say the difference here is the fact that they have a little bit more of experience in these sort of arenas as opposed to a new outfit in the Dolphins?
Yes and no. I think the cohesion as well, as Tim alluded to with the halves pairings, they've gone through a few already. The the Bunnies really nailed theirs on the weekend, and they've got confidence off the back of that. So I think that therein lies a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. The Dolphins are one of the season's great storylines, but our three panellists are tipping the Rabbitohs.
League is life. It's exhilaration, anticipation, highs and highlights. League is everything. That's why we've made a betting brand for league fans. That's better. Chances are you're about to lose.